What are the top 5 things that you can do to get a reduced sentence and possibly no prison time? There are a lot of different things that you can do, and you should start doing them as early as possible. So as soon as you know that you are under investigation, or as soon as you have been charged with a case, depending upon the kind of case it is, there are so many different things that you can do. So first, let's talk about substance abuse. If there is any sort of substance abuse in your life, if you are a drinker, if you are a pot smoker, if you are a drug addict, if you are a sex addict or a gambling addict, any one of these things can become mitigating factors in your case, which means something I can use to help you get a reduced sentence in a couple of ways. But the first thing you want to do, whether you think you need it or not, is you need to get into some sort of treatment. So if it's drinking or drugs, you want to get into AA or NA. If it's a child pornography case, you want to get into a Sex Addicts Anonymous case. If you're a gambler, you want to get into Gambling Anonymous. Or if you can afford it, if you have insurance, you want to get into a program. And there are all different kinds of programs all across the country. Of course, I know the ones in California, but I can certainly find, through my resources and my connections all over the country, I can find out the programs for you all over the country. But the first thing you want to do, if there are any of these issues in your life, you want to get into a program. The second thing you want to do, if you have any restitution in your case, meaning if you have a theft case or a fraud case and there is money involved, you want to start saving money so that you can pay this person back or these people back, especially if there's a large amount. So if it's a couple $100,000 or more than $1 million, you want to do everything that you possibly can to save as much money as possible so that you can make restitution before sentencing. And if your property is forfeited, then there's nothing much you can do about that part of it, and we can talk about that in a separate video. But if you have any way of selling your home, selling your car, selling your jewelry, whatever it is that you can do, and put the money away so that before sentencing, you can show the judge that you've made restitution, that can make a huge difference in your sentence, because most people don't pay restitution before sentencing. Most people can't, but many people can and don't. And judges will ask you, where do you live or what do you drive? And if you're driving some fancy car, but you're not paying back your victims, the judge is going to have a problem with that. On the other hand, if the judge sees that you've been scraping together even $100 a month, doing whatever you possibly can to make the victims whole in your case, the judge is definitely going to take that into consideration. And in fact, they have to. It is one of the factors they have to consider. Another thing that you want to do is community service. So whatever it is that you feel moved to do, going and volunteering at a homeless shelter, at an animal shelter, that's what I would do. You can go read to people in assisted living facilities once things open up again. You can volunteer in so many different ways, even if it's just in your community, if it's coaching kids, either with tutoring or with basketball or soccer or football, whatever your gift is, you want to start giving back to the community immediately. And that leads me into the fourth thing, which is getting character letters. And the character letters are going to be from people like the people you're doing community service for, or people who have benefited from your service, or the coach at the high school football team who's going to say, hey, he volunteered his time, or she volunteered her time and she was awesome, or anybody at one of these organizations. You also want to get letters from community leaders. You want to get letters from your religious leaders, and perhaps people at your children's school to talk about what a great parent you are. Friends and family as well. They want to talk about how long they've known you, how they know you, and what characteristics they see in you as a person. So these are just some of the things that you can do to prepare for sentencing. The final thing that you want to do, and I think probably one of the most important things, is you want to write a personal narrative, and you want to tell the judge why you are remorseful for your conduct. And this is something that we can spend hours talking about, but if you hire me and you are charged in federal court with a crime, I can help you draft a narrative so that the judge can hear how remorseful you are about your conduct and how it impacted others. Not necessarily your family, but perhaps your victims, and show the judge that you get it and that you're going to change. So those are the 5 things that you can do to reduce your sentence, and in some cases can result in a no jail time offer. So any combination of these things makes it more powerful. So I encourage all of my clients to do all of these things if they're facing federal criminal charges. So I'm Diane Bass. I'm a federal criminal defense attorney in Orange County, California. If you or a loved one are charged with a federal crime, please call me. My contact information is in the description below. And if you found this information helpful, subscribe. Thank you very much.